All right, and so we're back under caution.
Yeah, man, we get one problem fixed from week to week, and it seems like there's another one right around just to come out of the woodwork. So, yeah, I apologize once again, for that little bit of a step away. But the good news is we only missed a couple cautions. So hopefully you guys grab yourselves a drink, a snack, or whatever. We're on lap 92 of lap 156. Looks like the Ricky Goodman is back out on the track after watching some of the race himself. What did we miss, Jamie?
Yeah, so let's catch everybody up. So when we went off there, Calvin Allison had just wrecked, and basically what happened is he went through the dog leg and had half the car down in the dog leg, half the car up on the track, and it just got loose. And he found himself on the wall, went back about 23 spots, and is currently working his way up through the field. Last time I checked, he was up to the 16th position. Looks like he's even grabbed a couple more, up to 13th now. Only 10 back from where he started out, so he's making his way back. But this last caution was brought out by Dan Vigeland. Dan Vigeland just kind of got loose there, and as a result, was stopped on the inside of the track, which brought out the caution. So just bringing you up to speed on some of the driver chat that we're hearing over the radio. Some of them are a little confused as to the order that the NAVSCAR officials are putting people at when the caution flies. We don't really control that. That's really being done by the simulation itself. So, but they're getting squared away and they're getting ready to go. I think if there's one piece of information that is interesting, one of the drivers that we have up front, DJ Anderson in the 951. Was listening to his radio chatter, and he was saying this is definitely not his favorite track. He didn't feel that he carried the speed that he wants to here, even though he's finding himself up in the third position. And he was in communication with the 919 of Sean Butler, saying to go ahead and take that position. He wasn't going to race him hard for it.
It's good that guys know their limits and are able to make those types of calls and say, hey, I'm not as quick as you are. Why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. And, like to see a little bit more of that as we go under green. So Sean Butler gets a real nice jump there, but we got traffic right behind them as the 951 of DJ Anderson. We were just talking about him, just kind of really stuck in traffic there with the double O. Double O, Brian Wynn was just kind of, I don't want to say he was in the way, but I don't know if he was having some trouble there on the restart, but he definitely didn't get going. We're lucky we didn't have another caution there as he stayed off of him. We see a big move here through the field. Corey Wharton up 16 spots, up to that 8th position. Good showing for him. We haven't been talking about him a whole lot. He's definitely had a few incidents in the races previously, so kind of good to see him running up front there, as well as Mike Abbott, who is currently just in front of Corey Wharton in that 7th position. So good rebound there.
Yeah, Mike just did the bump and run there as the two just apparently shows his displeasure of it, and looks to me like that was some rough contact. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay there.
Yeah, I seen him running side by side, and it definitely did look like some contact there. So. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. I know Mike got into the back of the two, kind of pushed him up the track and got underneath him, but it didn't look like the two lifted a whole lot there when he got back to the car of Mike Abbott.
Yeah, I don't know if he was expecting Mike to take the dog leg and drop down, but we're on board with the two car we can see here.
Well, I'm pretty sure you can see him there. You can see the front of Mike's car.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not really sure. We'll have to discuss it after the race there, as we get these guys sorted out.
Yeah, real significant damage there on both cars. Obviously, Abbott takes the worst piece of that, but I believe this is the second or third incident Josh has been in, so I don't know if he's got a quick repair or not. I think he may be left driving what he's got.
Yeah, that front left fender is not looking too hot there. He's definitely going to want to come in and get it worked on as we see him pull down pit lane.
I'm under the impression that Abbott got towed. Is that correct?
Um, he is still sitting in his pit box, so I would assume so.
Yeah, in fact, I just rode with Mike there. He actually was implanted into the wall and had to be towed. He was not able to move that car.
Yeah, it looks like they're changing the tires now on the car, so he is in his box, but he definitely doesn't have a quick repair, and there is no front end left on that car, so I don't know if he's going to be able to continue.
You ever see that race where Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Carl Edwards got into it, and Carl Edwards, after the race, got changed his tires and went back out on the track and hit Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Yes, sir.
I'm not implying anything. I'm curious to see what happens when that car gets fixed, because he's definitely still in it. I can see the wheel moving around in it. He's patiently waiting for it to be fixed to the point where he can get back out on the track.
Wasn't there a similar incident last year with Joey Logano and I don't remember who it was, when he was in the chase, took him out of the chase?
Oh, Matt Kenseth.
Yeah,
Yes.
Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, that'll do it every time. You know, drivers. You know, it's a two-way street, but you always hear of them wanting to drive like they've been driven against. So.
Yep, for sure. As we go back to green here, Sean Butler is on the inside of James Skelton. James Skelton gets a good run on that outside, but it's going to have to check up there. Sean is going to use every inch of the track available to him and make that pass as Haney comes out of nowhere to use that dogleg to his advantage and is now challenging for second place on the inside of James Skelton.
But look who's just a couple car lengths back. Calvin Allison going to put his car up there in position to contend for this lead as we had a caution out.
I hear cars blowing up.
Yes, I do too. Ooh, there was a pretty big incident there on the front stretch.
Yeah, there's a road jam. Looks like a couple incidents. Guys were checking up and caused some issues in the back there. I didn't catch the actual incident. Let's take a look.
Looks like John Pershing Jr. is involved there with Chris Sharp. I don't know. I don't think it was intentional, but it looked like John went into the back of him there.
It looks like if you have to go back a little bit further than that, we can take a look here. And we didn't notice this going on live, but the Calvin Ellis is on the inside of the 24. And the 24 just turns a hard left like he's coming down, doesn't maybe doesn't. Again, he can see him. I don't understand. It looks like there's some contact there, and the 24 just gets loose and power slides, and that's going to cause the big incident back there. But
Yep.
the original contact was between the 28 and the 24.
Yeah, no blame on the 24 there. It just it did look a little odd that he was as low on the track as he was. I kind of would have expected him to be a little bit closer up towards the wall coming out of that corner. But
Yeah,
yeah.
Calvin is definitely on the line the entire corner. So, um, yeah, I'm not sure if the 24 was expecting more room, but Calvin does come off the line a little bit. But there was definitely no room given there, and yeah, unfortunately, a number of cars. We see about 4 or 5 cars collected in that one as well.
But and again, I'm not defending either one of these drivers, but it is expected that you drift up out of that corner. I mean,
Oh yeah,
the when you talk about Calvin coming up, that's expected for him to come up. That's why I was saying, more Chris Sharp. Just kind of wondering why he was didn't just kind of let the car drift up, but he's obviously driving that car and knew the reason uh, why he didn't or why it couldn't. So, but hopefully he'll get that damage fixed and be right back out there. So he had a real fast car up to this point. So, and I don't think he's been really involved in any other incident.
no, I think he's been pretty good through most of the race. You're right. I think he had some room on the outside. He could have definitely used up, but we've seen a lot of incidents from a lot of different people this race. So I'm not going to pick on him or anybody else. Just hopefully we can get this one in the books, returning a lap 106 of lap 156.
50 laps to go. Hopefully they can knock this out. If they can, and we've had a good, couple good 20 lap runs here. I think it would be real interesting too if we can get them to go a full or to pit under green.
Yeah, that would be like a miracle.
That yeah.
Like we haven't even seen worn tires yet, man.
Well, they'd probably disagree.
Yeah, they probably would disagree. These guys are getting doubled up here as we're going to go back to green. And yeah, one of our viewers mentioned that we saw a lot of carnage there because of those no room on the front stretch. You got walls on the inside, you got walls on the outside, so it's tough to get around those incidents when they happen on the front stretch.
See these guys get a little bit tighter as we get ready to go green. Yeah, they definitely tighten up. Calvin's definitely on that bumper of Keith Haney in the 54 car there. Keith Haney's also had some real good runs here at Phoenix. It looks like Keith actually gets a really good start. Boy, I don't know. Did Sean and James get into each other there?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. They're running real hard here right now.
Well, that's crazy having the leader and the second place car kind of get into each other on a restart. Looks like Tim Lewis in that 14 car has kind of brought that one behind the wall. It looks like he's going to retire that car for the race.
Yeah, it's he's not the first casualty of tonight's race. I hate seeing Tim getting collected up like that. I'm sure he's frustrated, but we'll see him next week at Auto Club.
Yeah, nice run here by David Howard Jr. coming back up through the field. Up to eighth positions, up 25 spots. Make that 26 as he takes the 7th position there. As him and actually looks like John Pershing Jr. duking it out.
Yeah, right now he's got the 964 of Jason Wells on the inside, trying to complete this pass as the 917 gets super high up, using every inch of that racetrack. Gets a great run off that dog leg and is able to continue to fight for this position. I haven't seen a driver really use the inside of that yellow line as hard as Jason was there.
Yeah, and another thing I'm noticing here, Mike, is these guys are maybe not so much in one, but I'm definitely seeing it in three. They're running a little bit higher line, just kind of maybe a little bit easier on the tires, or maybe that just a sign that the tires are going away a little bit more than what we thought they were. So uh, some of them start down on that yellow line, but they definitely drift up a little bit higher coming out of it.
Right now, Calvin's working on the outside of the 54 of Keith Haney.
Yeah, and
Does
that's interesting.
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, you'll notice that Keith Haney's going to take the way on the inside of the dog leg here. He's been doing it at every lap. He does it again, and just kind of lets it drift up there right behind Calvin. Calvin's got that position now by about 2 car lengths. So
Yeah, I'm undecided on whether I think that dog leg is really that much of an advantage. And it'll be argued every race that we come here. Um, I don't know. I've seen guys make it work. I've seen guys not make it work. So the jury is still out in my books.
yeah, I would agree. I think maybe when you got fresh tires, you could make it work, but I just don't see. To me, it just disrupts the car too much. Looks like a nice recovery by John Pershing Jr. up to sixth. He was. I think he just got a little side damage there going by in that last incident, but he seems to be making his way up. I do see damage on that car, but so seems to be holding his own.
Yeah, you definitely see some, as we ride on board, we see some front end damage on John's car there as we ride behind the 54 of Keith Haney. But John is a lot smoother on that wheel than I've seen some other drivers, and he's not really chasing the car on exit. So I'm not sure if that damage is really affecting the handling all that much.
Caution's
But
out.
caution is out.
As Kelvin Allison just takes the third spot there.
Did we see what brought the caution out?
No, I don't. I haven't been able to locate what brought that one out.
Oh, I found it. 72 of Raymond Edge on the inside wall on the front stretch. Let's see if it was a single car incident. Yeah, all by himself, gets loose. The car behind him almost gets loose. Does collect the 998 there a little bit. Yeah, he's going to go and spin out there as well. Let's ride on board with the 998. We can see that hooligan logo on the back end of Raymond's car. He's going to just get a little bit loose here. And, when you're following a car and he gets loose in front of you, it's easy to get loose as well. You almost follow him, and you can see that he corrects it, almost saves it, but the 72 gets in and taps him, and that's going to be enough to send him around.
Yeah, and that's one of those things too where you got to just keep your foot off the gas a little bit. I know that again sounds counterintuitive, but this track does not like when when you put your foot down on the gas. I mean, and mash it all the way. I mean, the car will come around. I really almost, I think you can do it in the first 3 gears.
Oh, yeah, it just getting hard on or hard off the throttle at any point during a corner can really upset the car for sure. We got 40 laps to go. Got a bit of a shakeup up front right now as these guys are, I'm sure some guys are coming into pit and so forth.
For being in that incident, Edge didn't really have a whole lot of damage on the car. I think he came out of that, better than what he was expecting to be quite honest with you. As we see the 998 pretty much almost lose it in pit road there. Hearing some radio traffic, Mike, that Sean Butler is letting the other spotters know that top three cars are on older tires, and to be aware of it.
I guess Sean is Shaw in the first car with new tires.
No, I think himself included.
Well, he's in fourth, so
Oh, my apologies. Yes, so yes,
is he's doing the service of letting everybody else know.
yes, and I bet they're all thankful for that as well. Now it will be interesting too because the 24 is in front of the 28, and if you do recall from a few laps ago, they found themselves right next to each other, and one of them into the wall.
Yes, that is true. Where's the 24? The 24. Oh, he's in second. 24. No.
Yes.
Wow, I'm impressed that the 24 was able to get back up to the lead, but I guess he did stay out here. So.
Well, I don't think it's going to be for very long on old tires. You've got to have new tires here, and you're not going to be anywhere close to being as fast as the guys behind you. It ain't going to happen. I am curious about Josh Buckley. On long runs like this, hope he's got all the necessary items with him as we go green and the 24 spins those tires.
Yep, exactly what you said. He spun his tires. Now we got 3 wide going into first, and does a good job of keeping it up high. Joshua
does. In the wall though.
He was in the wall. 28's going to try and get by the 24 car here as well. But he's got the 8. Whoa, man. Haney just comes out of nowhere. Uses that dog leg on restarts better than most. 15 up into the wall there.
Yeah.
There was no contact there. I don't know if there was. Do we have a caution? We do have a caution.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're definitely under caution. David Howard Jr. got spun by I believe it was Corey Warden of the 999, and there's some radio traffic after that one.
All right, let's see if we can take a look here. Not a great angle. Let's go ahead and see if we can ride on board.
Yeah, I think it was just the way where Corey was at. To be quite honest with you, I don't think he was. I think he was expecting him to go a little bit lower, but Corey just stayed on that yellow line, and David seemed to come down. That's what it looked like from here. I don't know if that's truly the case.
Yeah, he definitely just did not choose the dog leg, and Howard definitely decided he was going to come down, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see any fault there. It just, and I think it would have been in David's blind spot, and I'm not sure if the spotter would have been able to call it that fast anyway. So,
yeah, he's definitely in his blind spot. Yeah, you can definitely see Howard does plan on coming in to use that yellow line, but there's no obligation for anybody to run the dog leg. You don't need to run the dog leg.
And I think that's gonna definitely hurt David Howard Jr. We know he's used that quick repair already, so he's gonna bring it in, and we'll see what he comes out with. Yeah, just hearing the radio traffic now, Mike. David Howard Jr. is letting the 999 know that it was his fault, and his spotter had told him he was clear. So,
oh, I like hearing that.
Yeah, no, both drivers apologetic, so that's good to hear on the radio. Just good hard racing there, and that's what it does happen. I mean, it does happen where your spotter is. I mean, you're talking about fractions of a second. You
Right.
can't call that kind of stuff.
Especially with the dog leg way it's set up here, like, 5 times out of 10, that inside car is going to take the dog leg. So if Corey does take the dog leg there, there's no incident. But uh, there's no obligation for somebody to run that dog leg. So yeah, it's just one of those things. It's the nature of the track. You got to be aware, and it's tough to be aware of your cars there in that situation, especially in David's situation, because it is absolutely a blind spot. And it's just an instant where he wasn't inside, and then he's inside, and then it's just a reactionary thing that you just can't really do anything about.
Yeah, and I think we're going to start. It's going to be interesting because it feels like we've got a little fatigue here in these drivers. We have been going for quite a few laps, several of them under a caution, as our viewers know. But it's one of those things that normally at the end of the race you kind of get the adrenaline going again because there's only a couple more laps and to make up some positions here to get yourself in with a good top 10 finish. So um, I only bring that up because I heard the 72 of Edge say he was falling asleep under the caution. So as we're getting ready to go back to green. Green flag. Good jump here by Sean Butler. Calvin Allison just pushing that 951 a little bit. Underneath him going into turn one. Is looking for that second spot.
Howard's making that dog leg. He got a really good start. I don't know if Nate spun his tires. It looked like that's the case. 54 was able to gain a couple positions really quick. And right now we've got Sean Butler in the 919, the Calvin Allison in the 28, and DJ in the 951. Those are 3 cars that have been up front all race long.
Yeah, it's definitely some fast cars there as we got Butch getting into cars back there and probably going to be bringing out the caution, I think. Yep, and there it is. Yeah, Butch Frazier looked like he either got loose or got into somebody and got loose, or a combination of the two.
Yeah, looks like Butch was hard on the brakes not to run into the car in front of him, and then 72 might have done a little bit of help in there.
Boy, the 917 and the two of Josh Buckley, how they're still driving around this track, I still have no idea. Both of those drivers again involved in that incident as well.
Yeah, it seems like those cars have been together a lot, but they both get pointed forward and they both move in the right direction. Yeah, those guys, every time we see them together, they're spinning. That's crazy.
Yeah, I bet these guys are going to be looking forward to Auto Club. Auto Club is a real big track, considered super speedway, isn't it?
Well, it's a speedway. It's not a super speedway, but yeah, it is. It's fast. It drives like a super speedway. You're on the throttle a lot, and actually that's really what dictates a quick lap. There is the quicker you get back onto the throttle, the faster you're obviously the faster you're going to be. But it's tough to really know when to blip off, and it's just a really fast cornering track, completely different than what we're seeing here.
What I'm hoping to see at Auto Club, to be quite honest with you, is I'm really hoping to see these guys utilize the high line. And I've been kind of complaining about it the last several weeks during the broadcast, but it's one thing I don't see enough of during the races, where you do see it in actual NASCAR. Is the guys utilize the high line and make it work. One person I think that's going to test that theory a little bit is going to be Calvin Allison. I could be wrong on that, but I've seen him run high. He likes to run that high line and make it work.
Yeah, for sure. I have seen him run that high line. I think he's comfortable up there, and it's just the question of whether or not you can find the speed up there. If you can find the speed up there, yeah, we're going to see guys get up there, but it's never really been a successful line. But you never know. I'm looking forward to Auto Club. I do like that track. I like Michigan as well, and those tracks are very similar.
Yeah, and like we talked about earlier, and I don't know if all the viewers got to catch that, but that was one of the things that we talked about. We went back, we took a look at some statistics from last year. The race winner back then was Calvin Allison, so he definitely knows his way around the track. I think there are some new factors to account for. To be quite honest with you, with some of these new drivers, could make things interesting and could make his getting back to victory lane just all that more interesting or difficult, depending on how you look at it. Now, I could be wrong, but I Kelvin looks to have gone in for tires or fuel. He is down back into the 10th position from second.
He's on the track. I don't. Yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't notice him come in, but maybe with 27 to go, he's thinking I'm going to come in and get my fresh tires now. I don't have to come in again. Maybe he's not planning on coming in again, where people might have to.
I think you're right. I don't know if they can make it the whole distance, but I guess if you're Sean Butler and the guys up front, maybe you're just hoping for some cautions, cut the engine off, save some fuel. Um, Calvin, Calvin's really good at the fuel mileage game though too. So
Yeah,
he's probably got it dialed in.
I don't think there's any risk of not being able to go 27 laps, but I don't know what kind of strategy most of these cars are on. We haven't really been keeping track, but a tire situation, I don't think 27 laps is really going to be comfortable. So we'll see how they go as these guys get bunched up. We've seen some good restarts as we go back to green.
Yeah, good start here. Plenty of room for everybody. It looks like.
72 gets into Much Muma.
Yeah, that was some close racing there. No caution.
Yeah, it's all over the place going through that dog leg, but they all keep it sorted out. Calvin is up to 6th position from that 10th place start. Right now, Corey Wharton in the 999 is sitting directly in front of him.
Let's see if Corey takes that dog leg.
Yeah. Calvin does take that dog leg. Looks like makes the pass pretty easily going into 3, 4, whatever corner that is.
Yeah, you're right. Calvin's definitely on the move, as you would expect him to be with those newer tires. So, caution's out. Will Long, I heard him on the radio saying that.
Oh yeah, they're all bunching up on the front stretch.
Yeah, that looked like a parking lot during rush hour traffic there. Looks like what causes it is the 81 getting into Butch Frazier. Just taps him.
Yeah, the 81's slow and looks like he tries to get down on the apron. Does, and then powers back. Maybe. Looks like Butch possibly got loose coming out, too.
Just sorry, I know it's not funny, but wow. You see those cars checking up, and the 917 David Howard Jr. just rear-ended. Probably took the whole back end of that car off there. Brent Rogers is out there. He's smoking bad. Ooh,
Yeah, watching this replay from the 81, the Butch comes down into him, and man, 81 almost runs right into that water barrier at the pit road speed. Let's go ahead and ride with the 55 of Butch Frazier. We got a car driving backwards over the start-finish line. That's funny. Oh, you can see here coming through the corner. Gets back on the gas. I think he's going to get loose here. He does, and that's what puts him inside. So he tries to correct too late. Hard into the wall. And That's all she wrote. As we got a car coasting backwards on the straight.
Who is that?
I don't know. But it was funny. He tows eventually. Well, again, we got 20 viewers hanging out, sticking to it till the end. Thanks, guys, for sticking out. It's been one of those races with 21 laps to go. Appreciate the support from our viewers, the guys that do come out and watch week to week, even though we have those technical issues. I was telling Jamie earlier that my wife has given me the okay to purchase a new processor, so right now my chip on the computer is running at 99%. It's been running at 99% since the start of this race 2 hours ago, so I think that's what caused the restart. And if I get myself a new chip, maybe a little bit more memory, should be okay. A lot of things running on my computer right now. It's a lot more intensive than just running the iRacing sim, purely because this simulation is drawing all the cars on the track, where normally when you're in the car, you're only drawing 20 or so cars that are actually in view. But for the broadcast, we have to have all the cars on the track, and it's just really intensive for the processor. So I think we're going to have to do some upgrading.
I think you're right. I think once you do that, you'll be all set and ready to go. I know. Taking a look here, I believe the lights are off on the pace car, so we're going to get ready to go. Calvin Allison's definitely making his way forward, currently showing in the 5th position. He's got 2 cars in front of him that he really needs to get by. One of them is my pick, Nelson Rivera, tonight, and the other one is the 925 of Dan Vigeland. So good run by those guys, but let's see if they can hold Calvin off and keep him back there, or if they're just trying to get a good finish out of this. So,
yeah, with 20 laps to go, I think everyone's ready to get this one in the books. I've lost count of how many cautions we've seen tonight. Don't tell me, I don't want to know. And I'm excited to see this one wound up. But Calvin's going to be one to watch, sitting on the inside lane of that 3rd row.
Jason Wells on the outside of Sean Butler as they get ready. Green flag. Not the greatest start on the outside there. We have seen some guys check up. Sean Butler takes him real hard into turn 1. It's going to be able to secure that 1st position. Now it's a dogfight between the 2nd through 4th cars as you see Calvin Allison dive in that dog leg, come back out.
Yeah, it's good to see him still has the courage to do that after that first incident earlier in the race. But he does make the pass. He's sitting in 3rd place right now, got his sights set on Jason.
Yep, and I know Jason going into that corner. We definitely seen some smoke coming out of those tires. He was definitely driving it hard. I'm trying to figure out if Jason Wells has actually, when he pitted last, I'm wondering if he's on newer tires.
Since we've been back from our outage, I see that he's pit twice.
Caution's out.
Caution is out.
Yeah, Kelvin had the fastest lap that time, 0.2 of a second faster than our leader, Sean Butler, so definitely was gaining on him.
Did you happen to see what brought out that caution?
I did not, but I'm going to go back now and see if I can't locate it. I think the 26 of Dale Albright might have been in that.
He was exiting pits. I don't see him.
No, he wasn't involved.
Oh, there it is. Something on the front stretch there.
Ooh, that looks like the 951 of DJ Anderson.
All right, we got it here as he's exiting. Looks like he's down low. Yeah, little contact there between the 72 and the 951.
Yeah, and again, I can't tell if the spotter didn't know the 72 was out there. Uh, I I think the 72 was as high as he could get on the track, to be quite honest with you. I didn't see him come down. I think he just kind of held his line. It looked like the 951 just kind of drifted up like we've talked about in the past, where you would expect him to do, and it just car there.
Yeah, there might have been another half a car length for the 72, but there definitely wasn't a ton of room. Um, yeah, I think he was just running as hard as he can to make up some positions there, and yeah, he just gets rolling again real quick.
So if things couldn't get any more interesting, Sean Butler goes into pit. He goes down 13 positions down to 17th. Jason Wells is our current leader with Calvin Allison right behind him. So do you think Calvin's running fuel strategy here? Do you think he's cutting the car off?
No, no, I think he's good. I don't think there's any risk of not being going the full way. We haven't seen a fuel run, but I guarantee you a fuel run is much more than 27 laps.
Yeah, Calvin's actually got a little bit of damage on that hood. Looks like he's going to drive what he's got there. So hopefully, and I don't think it's going to be a factor that he's going to need to deal with. But we watched Calvin come through the field. Now I think we're going to have to check on Sean Butler to see if he can make it through the field and survive the gauntlet, if he will.
Yeah, I'm showing Sean deep in the field now, 17th spot. Yeah, we saw Calvin make up a bunch of positions, but he did start that race in 10th place. Just looking at the cars around Sean Butler right now, there's a lot of damaged vehicles around him. So, man, I don't think he's in the position that he wants to be in. I think he felt like he was kind of forced to come in and get tires. But he's got to be super careful with the cars around him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, I think it's going to work in Sean's favor if we can get a few more cautions here, because I think we're going to see Sean be able to come up through the field. And at the end of the day, he might have just a little bit newer tires than Calvin and might be able to squeak out this win. But, I'm not... before we put the cart before the horse, we've got Nelson Rivera up there in third. We got Dan Vigeland in fourth, Corey Wharton in fifth, James Skelton, who had the pole tonight, we know is fast. He's got some pretty speedy cars in front of him that he needs to get by first.
We'll definitely see how it goes as the pace car's in for 13 laps to go. Still got time for another caution, but let's hope not as we take the green flag. James is going to jump inside the 86 and jump inside the 925 there to make that pass. Haney again just using every inch of that dog leg. Just crazy seeing him go that low on that corner, but it works for him, especially on restarts.
Yeah, it does, but he's definitely in traffic now. Sean Butler having a heck of a time with traffic back there as well.
Checking on Sean, he is putting the pass on the 917 right now, up to 11th place. He's passing these cars real quick with 11 laps to go. He's got those fresh tires. He's got to be feeling like he can put that car in places that everybody else can't. You can see how loose he is getting off exit. He's driving that car extremely hard.
He definitely is. I just, I think he's going to have success until he gets to the top 3 or 4, and then I think I don't know. It's going to be close. He's definitely got a fast car right now, but even right now he's trying to deal with the 72 and the 15 in front of him.
Yeah, those guys aren't going to move out of his way. Oh man, that's a close, hard race in 72 on the outside, just enough room. Sean's going to put it as low as he can in the corner. Is going to make that pass here. But you're right. Laps are running down. We got 9 laps to go. Calvin is almost a full second now ahead of Jason Wells. I think it's going to take a miracle for somebody to upset that lead right now.
So you want to know something crazy? Is the driver that had the fastest lap was actually Kelvin Allison, and it just switched to James Skelton. So Sean Butler not putting down the fastest lap on the track as you would expect him to do with those fresh tires.
Yeah, but he's up to 8th. I love seeing this run so late in the race. 8 laps to go. He's still got some time fighting for that top 5 position here.
And as soon as I said that, I obviously didn't wait for Sean to cross the finish line. He did have the fastest lap, 28.718 that last time. And just checking again, he does. He still has the fastest. In fact, he gained 0.2 of a second there, 28.579. He is really putting him down.
Gets by the 9.99 of Corey Wharton, 7th place with 7 laps to go. Corey's right on his tail. Just letting him know I'm still here. We are running for position. I'm not going to let you just run away with it. But
Sean says not for long.
Yep, he dives on the inside. 9:25 moves up. Sean is super quick here, on a mission. 6 laps to go in 6th place. Calvin's still steady at a second over Wells. James Skelton is fighting for that 2nd place position, but right now, best action on the track. Sean Butler in 6th place.
Yeah, and Kelvin just had the fastest lap that time. So Sean caught in traffic there, kind of hurt him as we actually see him get into the wall there a little bit. Seen some sparks fly, nothing serious. Just a little left quarter panel or right quarter panel up against the wall.
Yeah, he's running those tires so hard that he's got to be wearing them out here. I don't know how much more he can do here with 5 laps to go, but he's got 5th and 4th sitting right in front of him. He's going to be, I don't think Nelson's going to just let him by, but
no.
He's going to have to force the issue here with 5 to go.
Yeah, and he was only 0.1 of a second faster than Calvin that last lap.
He's going to dive in on the 7 car, put it right down below the yellow line, hook those 2 tires. There's going to be a little bit of contact. Sean's going to get loose. Oh, puts it in the wall there. Hate to see that after that run, but he's got to get things back on track.
Yeah, that was definitely some hard racing. You can't blame him. He was trying to get those positions back. Real close, real intense racing there.
Yeah,
again, now he's working on Corey Wharton again.
You hate to see him get frustrated and lose this top 10 finish, after putting that run together. He's got to just buckle it down, get things together, and bring it on home. He's got to be happy with an 8th place, 7th place, 6th place finish after pitting that late in the race.
Looks like he's going to get this position from Wharton back, but, he's got that 9:25 in front of him. Yeah, Dan Vigeland isn't moving over for him either.
No, but he's good at putting this car on the bottom there to enter. He's got definitely a different entry into 1, and as long as he makes it stick, it works for him. But guys aren't going to get up out of his way as he gets that 6th position back. He's going to get right up back there, and he might not be as nice to Nelson trying that 2nd time. White flag, this will end the race this time by. Calvin Allison still got a 2nd lead over 1st. Right now the race looks to be for 3rd place. Cars are in line here.
Yeah, Sean Butler would really like to find himself, watch these guys race hard in front of him, maybe capitalize here in the last second to take home maybe a 3rd, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, Calvin Allison's going to cross 1st place, Jason Wells 2nd place, James Skelton, your top 3 finish. Sean puts on quite a show there as we wind down. I'm sure he had some fun there, might be upset with that finish, thinks he's got a better car than that. Just didn't work out for him. I think maybe he was expecting more people to come in and get tires, but made a good showing, did what he had to do to hopefully pull back a win. But 3 in a row for the 28 of Calvin Allison.
Yeah, impressive.
He's going to pick up that checkered flag, maybe burn down those tires. A little bit of congratulations from his teammate there. Let's see if we can bring him down for his post-race interview. Do you see him in there? He likes to change his name. I have no idea which one it is.
Let me see if I can find him here real quick. Actually, well, maybe this is him. Let's see. Yeah, that's him. Hold on one second. Calvin Allison, Jamie and Mike in the booth. How's it going?
I can't complain tonight, fellas.
Yeah, that was an interesting race all around. There was a lot of cautions. I hate seeing those come. A lot of guys maybe making some bad calls, but you were up at the front. Cycled back with pit stops, but you were fast all night, man. Tell us about your strategy.
I just figured with the way tire wear is here, with its 114 track temp, I just pit every time for tires. And sure enough, I lucked out in the end.